Good morning, I'm John Naylor on the eCentral Business Show. This morning I'm joined by Von Barnes from Pinnacle Properties. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Von.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Yeah, now a really important part of this first part of our show, that first 90 seconds where people are still tuned in, let's talk about Von Barnes and Pinnacle Properties. What are you guys about?
Well, we started Pinnacle Properties about a year and a half ago, and we decided to open the company because we wanted to do it better. We do it with a heart and integrity and honesty, and that's quite unique in a real estate agency, is that we do everything for the clients. So when we go in and appraise a house, we'll look at the house, what's value is it, how can we improve the value, can we restyle it for it, it's all part of the service, and then we take it to market. And we do it with a heart, integrity, and then we sell it for a better price. And it's all part of the journey of holding the landlord's or the vendor's hand as we take the property to market.
Yeah, cool. Now we're going to segue in a short period of time into talking about the quote lie and that monster that lurks in the burbs. But first of all, yeah, what I've heard and seen you talk about is that value add you do for people and the way you style a property and the way that adds value genuinely at the bottom line for them. What's a recent example of that?
Well, we've done quite a few properties as well. We'll go into a property, and a classic would have been a property that we sold recently for a gorgeous couple. They'd been in the house for over 35 years, and when you've been in a property for so long, you sort of customize everything and you don't realize that it's normal. So what we will do is we'll go in and we'll change things and make it look more appealing for very little money. And we can, it's as simple as putting some cushions on, or taking some of the furniture on, or maybe just repainting the property. But we can do it with, you know, beautiful tradies that are not expensive, and we instantly add value. A property that we took recently, the house across the road had been on the market for over a year, and they couldn't sell it for the price that what they wanted. We took our property to market, we just did a little makeover, made it look amazing, and we sold it in 9 days, and we sold it for 10% more than they expected.
Okay, great. Well, that's a great result. So yeah, the little changes that you come in and do that, and you see that's your distinct point of difference, those little value adds, a little bit of improvement you offer people, and they get a financial result. Absolutely,
and it's all part of the service, the commission. We charge the same commission as all the other generic brands, but because it's my company and we're a team, we all work together, and it's done to support the vendors in the sale process. And it's even from decluttering to restyling to presenting the property better. It's all done step by step by step. We do a plan, we take care of the property until it goes to market.
How do you charge for this?
We don't.
So it's all wrapped up in the commission structure?
Correct.
And the standard table for doing so, yeah?
Absolutely. And we have furniture, so we have 3 little warehouses at the moment with furniture. Currently we have property in 8 houses, and the houses look better. And we just wanted to do it better, and it's interesting because everybody has their favorite piece of furniture, but it might not be the best furniture to sell the house. So we take the furniture out and we put more furniture in. But also it's putting the right furniture in for the right property, for the right buyer. That's really important. Okay. There's no use putting an amazing black and white furniture in an old Queenslander that doesn't suit the furniture and the property. It's about matching the property to the furniture to the buyer. It's really important.
Okay, tremendous. Yeah, now the thing is, you've also showcased that in a recent video you've produced that shows the flip process, yeah, and you show that transition type thing. So obviously that's on your Facebook is the best place to find that?
Sure,
okay.
Sure. So we've started doing a series of videos of showing how we help the sellers or vendors take a property to market. Because sometimes the people that have lived in the house for 10, 15, 20, 35, 40 years, the house is great, but you know the wallpaper is out of date. Some things might need a little bit of repair, and I'm looking at and thinking of doors that don't shut properly, or bathrooms just might need fresh tiles. They're not expensive, but they can just make the difference. Also taking away the fear factors, because you might see a railing that's a little bit loose. We just need to tighten it up, make it fresh, and then we take it to market.
Okay, great. So that video series is great for that. Now let's talk about the quote lie.
The quote lie. I love the quote lie.
What's the motivation behind it, first of all? So how do we deconstruct this beast?
The quote lie is a really interesting thing. What we're noticing a lot lately in the market is real estate agents want work. There's no doubt about that. And to get work, sometimes they need fabrication. Fabrication is when a real estate agent may go into a property and say, wow, this property is amazing, it's worth at least $1 million. And the landlords go, great, I knew it was worth that. And yes, we can absolutely move the house off, we can sell it to a developer, we can do so much with your property. We call it a quote lie, because reality is often A, it's not worth that, B, it won't sell for that, and C, you can't do that with the property. So, but the sellers get so excited because they think they're going to get more money, they can do this and they can do that, and it's not true, none of it.
Okay, true. And you even, what we were talking about off camera was that there's even with the change of the town plan in 2014, so there's a lot more character stuff going on. A lot of houses can't even be moved or obviously can't be torn down.
Yes, it was. We did an appraisal recently where the seller had several agents through, and she had been told an amazing price to sell the property, and then she was told that she could develop the whole property. Well, number one, she couldn't take the property off she couldn't demolish the house. B, she couldn't take the house off, and so it devalues the property to a developer. The only thing that they could do was put some townhouses at the back, and then she had been told an inflated price by one agent, so she was inclined to go with that agent because she would get so much more money, and she was misled into thinking that she could subdivide the block.
Okay, so how do we fight back against
the reality is just the truth facts. So
you look for proof.
Yeah, and a lot of the information is online, it's freely available, and I always say, look, I'm not a developer, I'm not a town planner, but let me show you online. So we can do that in front of the client, we do it on our iPads, and we actually show them what they cannot and cannot do. And then we show them how to value the property, and we use several different programs, so by the end of the presentation I can absolutely with clarity show them A, what the property is worth, B, what they can do with it, and C, what they can't do with it. So then they have a crystal clear picture of the truth.
Yeah, okay.
And that's,
so how do you spot the quote lie?
The quote lie is, well, they tell us what it is usually, because when you're going in, and most vendors or landlords will actually, or sellers will come in and say, I've interviewed 3 or 4 agents and they've told me I can get this much for our property and I can do this with it. Okay. And you know, some of the amounts that they've been told are amazing, and the reality is not really the truth. And what happens when they do that, they then go with the agent that is misleading them, and they'll list the house, and you'll see them because they hit the market with this amazing price, but within 2 weeks you'll see they start hammering the price down. And I think that's probably one of the saddest aspects of a real estate agent, is that they are unkind to the landlords or the vendors because they have this price expectation.
Sold them a dream, yeah.
And then it's not real, and so they're hurting and they get hurt. My word is, and then usually we're called in on the second round because they haven't met the criteria and they haven't been able to sell the property at all. So we get called back in the second time. Okay,
and that's the thing, I guess, and that's where you do your genuinely valuable thing you do for people is based around the standard table of commissions. You go in and do a little bit of value add to a property, and that's the way you're going to actually get better prices for people consistently,
so our standard fee is the same as, we're generic, we're an REIQ agency, and we charge what they tell us to charge, which is fair and reasonable. We do not charge anything more. We have different marketing strategies, and we can add things and we can take things off, but our focus is to present the property in the best light, and it's also in our interest to do it, isn't it? Because if we make the property better, we'll sell it better. We're commission only, so we get paid better, but we also sell the property in a quicker time frame. So, because sometimes when people are living in the houses, having opens every weekend or frequently can become time consuming and overwhelming. So it's better to put the property in the best light. And the greatest thing is, a lot of people are so incredibly time poor. So we have a team of tradies that we bring in, from plumbers to electricians to plasterers to painters to gardeners, and we just make the property look really, really good. And we work within a budget. One of the properties that we recently made over, we spent less than $4,000 on, and we got them an extra $50,000 for that. So and we sold it within 3 weeks of going to market. So it's about making the property look the best it can be.
Okay, fabulous. Vaughn, thank you very much for your time. How do people get in contact?
We're at Pinnacle Properties, and you can find us on website, email, or anytime you can just contact us. Thank you.
Okay, Von, thank you very much for your time. All right, that's another episode done for the eCentral Business Show. I'm John Naylor.